I ran the X-ray facility when I changed fields. That was my job, and we wanted to build as a microspectrophotometer on the beamline at the ESRF, so that we could monitor optically what was happening when the crystals were irradiated. And this was in 1999, 2000, when we started to realize that even at cryo temperatures at 100 Kelvin, we got damage that we could see, the specific structural damage. And those were experiments by Raymond Ravelli and Sean McSweeney, and also Wim Burmeister and Martin White. There were 3 papers that came out in 2000 that all reported this phenomenon, which is that disulfide bonds break at cryo temperatures, and then you get aspartates and glutamates that are decarboxylated. So I went to the ESRF with James, and we set up a block allocation group, which ran for, well, it's still running actually 25 years later, but I run it myself for 10 years, and it was groups who were interested in radiation damage from all over Europe. Peter Lindley in particular saw that it was really important to understand what was going on. So I had a long-running collaboration with Raymond Ravelli, who very sadly died of cancer 2 years ago now, nearly 2 years ago. It was really sad. He was a fantastic scientist, and I'm still working with Martin White there. And I'm still part of the radiation bag, but I haven't done experiments for a while. So I got a Royal Society grant to build this microspectrophotometer, but then the pieces of it hadn't arrived in time by the time James went to the SRF to build it. So instead, he worked with Raymond Ravelli on a program called RADDOSE to work out the dose that crystals were getting. This was in Fortran, which is my language. But then now, since 2013, my group have completely rewritten it and much more sophisticated, to take into account the rotation of the crystal, the fact that new volume comes into the X-ray beam as you rotate it. The first iteration of it, the Fortran version, was just, I've got a crystal and it's completely immersed in the beam and I rotate it, so it's just the time it's in there. And this is now software that's used in many of the synchrotrons around the world, including Diamond Light Source, the Swiss Light Source, the Stanford, and NSLS2 and Brookhaven, to actually monitor, well, to actually try to estimate the dose and stop experimenters giving too much dose to the crystal that will damage the structural biology information you get out. And what we released very recently is an electron microscopy version of this for micro-ED. Instead of in electrons per square angstrom, you can now get a dose in grey, which is joules per kilogram, which is the unit of dose, absorbed dose. And the reason this matters is that people are using 100 kV microscopes, 200 kV microscopes, 300 kV microscopes, and of course it matters. The incident energy of the electron is going to change the damage profile.